This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, boppity beep 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 beep, boppity boop beep pop pop pop, boppity pop pop buddy dee beep, boppity pop beep pop pop pop. Hey everybody, this is Alex and this is the Ramble, and yes, we go until midnight tonight from the East Coast of the United States, out of New York City, New York. The city's so nice they named it twice. Okay, New York, New York. Hello there, everybody. How are you? Let's see. What troubles am I having today, technically? Let's see. Disney Plus seems to be down. Oh, man. I can't make anything work anymore. But let's go talk with Phil. And then what we'll do is we'll be able to get going here. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Hello, Phil. How are you this evening?
I'm just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm well, outside of the fact that my Disney Plus isn't working, you know.
Oh, you got to pay the bill.
No, I paid the bill. The rest of my bundle, the Hulu and ESPN Plus are working. It's just Disney Plus you can't sign into. They've got to be down. They got to be having some kind of problem.
It'd be nice if they told you when things go down. You know, you click on it and you get a message back that says we're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, they don't have that ability. Once they go down, they don't know what to do about it. So you know.
Hey, I see you're in uniform.
Yeah, you know, I'm only going to wear this tonight.
I figured.
It's a nice logo.
Yeah.
Although I don't know what this up here is supposed to mean.
It's supposed to be a carpet roll.
Really? Is that what?
Yeah, the side of a carpet roll.
I see. How much you pay for these hats?
I don't know. You know, I had these coupons.
I see.
Well, no, I had $1,700 worth. When you buy things at the convention,
mm-hmm.
they give you these carpet $1. They used to call them Michigan bucks because this guy Sandy Michigan was one of the primary guys. So anyway, you get these Michigan bucks. Each one's worth $25. So over the years, I just kept taking them at the end of the show and depositing them with this company that does T-shirts and stuff like that. You know, if I got one more computer monitor or one more pair of sunglasses, I didn't need it.
Yeah.
So I continually deposited them, and I got up to about $1,700. And so the other day I ordered 75 T-shirts in large, another dozen in extra large, and so forth. And then I ordered some nice collared shirts, and then I ordered a few hats. And so I said, all right, you wear Brian's hat, I'll send you mine.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, these hats are kind of, I don't know, they have a ridge through them, and the shape isn't right.
That's because I shoved it in an envelope and put a stamp.
No, the shape isn't right. It's just they're different kinds of caps, and this is not. They're how can I show you the difference?
I've got here's one that you never liked the shape.
No, the shape was horrible in that. It looks like Elmer Fudd hunting.
Yeah, I can't even figure out how to get it on straight.
No, hold on a second. I'll go get one of Brian's hats.
All right.
Let me see here. Here we go. This and this. Now, you see the difference? It's the way in which it lies. It's kind of like, if you look at the two of them, this one's kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this one really just is really nice, you know?
Yeah, that is a nice cap. You know why? It's a much higher quality cap.
You know,
I don't know what those things cost, but they can't be a lot of money. You know, the idea is.
Well, I think they spent a bit of money for Brian's. I don't think these are cheap hats. You know.
Yeah.
Now, Carpet One, are these for the national company, basically?
No, this is one of their providers that deals with T-shirts and things.
Yeah.
So I didn't even pick the hat. I just said, send me a couple of hats. You know.
So did you notice anything new?
Yeah, you've got your Gabnet logo up in the TV above the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got a new sofa.
That's it, too. It's our new sofa there.
I like it. Is it charcoal color?
No, it's green. It's green.
Oh.
It's green. And
right.
let me see here. Yeah, so that's our new sofa there. Okay.
Very nice.
And you know, I reshot this with I put on the TV screen. I put the Gabnet logo, and
yeah,
you know,
very talented. Now, what's that O bag next to the fireplace? Does that hold fireplace utensils, or
where you mean
there's
this?
well,
That's
that's
a pillow.
Oh, okay.
That's a pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It's very nice. It's clean, and you probably don't sink to the bottom.
Yeah. Well, really makes the room look cleaner and nicer, and you know.
It's more contemporary.
Oh yeah.
There was something about the fabric, though, on the old sofa. It was like a very elegant.
It was a very expensive
quality
couch that I inherited from my friends Steve and Adrian when they moved out of their apartment. And it's a very expensive one, but it got worn out. It got lumpy. It got all kinds of things. And finally, when we took care of business here and we got our deposit back, okay, I said to Marjorie, I said, here, it's yours. Go out and buy what you want, you know. So she also bought, you can't really see it that much. Wait a minute, I have to get it to go this
cocktail
way.
table?
No, a new rug.
Oh, a rug.
New rug. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So
very nice.
It looks great. It's very comfortable. It's very comfortable.
Yeah, looks more contemporary, and you know. But I thought the old sofa had a very elegant look to it. Like you said, it had just seen better days.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking for a new bed, and there's a company in San Francisco that was recommended to me. McCloskey Aeroflex. They've been there over 100 years, and they supposedly make the beds. They tie the springs, and you know they base it on your weight and whether you like to sit on the edge of the bed, and you know how and where you sleep. It's a very expensive bed, but because I bought,
you know, I'd be careful about expensive beds, and I'm going to tell you why. Marjorie always bought expensive beds, and she bought a really expensive bed a while back. And the whole thing started to sink on one side. Really? It started to just collapse. It started to sink.
That was your side, right?
My side, yeah. So they then said, okay, well, we'll give you another one. And they sent out another one, and it did the same thing.
Wow.
And when we said we want our money back, they said, no way.
Wow.
So we went out and got a cheaper bed, and it's lasting longer than the expensive bed. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I got one of those memory foam things. They
I don't want anything that's going to remember me. I want to become totally anonymous.
Well,
how do you know the government isn't listening?
They are. But you know, the thing about these memory foam beds is they sleep hot. And the air, it doesn't really circulate well, and they're you know, they break down, and they're not very good beds,
right?
And you know, maybe they're good for toppers or something like that, but they're not for the regular bed.
Not for the regular bed. No.
Alan bought a new bed the other day, and he I think he spent $2,800, but. You know, he needs more than a bed. He needs sort of like a platform, you know, with spikes on the side.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, how you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. I went to the neurologist today.
Yeah.
And I think I know what my lightheadedness is.
Is it the gabapentin?
No. No, it may well be positional vertigo.
Interesting. How did he come to that conclusion?
I don't know. He did a couple of things where he tested me. He said, "Look at this eye, this hand over here, without moving your head." And then I moved to the other side, and he said, "Your eyes are fluttering." He said, "That's a sign of positional vertigo."
No, that's called that test is called a nystagmus, and the police use it to determine if you're under the influence. So when you follow it at depending on what degree your eye bounces, it's an involuntary eye bounce, and the closer it is to your nose.
So you're arguing with my doctor that isn't what the test was that he gave me.
I'm telling you, it's called a nystagmus, and it's an involuntary eye bounce. Now, if you don't have the bounce at all, that means you can drink and drive, and they probably won't arrest you.
Well, no, but I did have some kind of a bounce or something.
Oh, at what angle?
At this point, when it went over here.
Well, everybody has that.
No, not everybody has it. I had it to an extent that he felt that I probably had positional vertigo.
Okay, well, if you look up nystagmus, and do you know
I'm not going to take your medical word for it.
It's not medical, it's police stuff. It's
well,
police
I don't
training.
know what that test is. That's the one where after you do it, you beat the person up. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But they'll have you follow a finger or a pen, and they'll look for the involuntary eye bounce. And
well, it was something in my eyes that he saw that said to him that I had positional vertigo.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that nystagmus would indicate that.
This is nystagmus. This is
Yes,
a
it
nice
is.
doctor doing a test on me, and then he did a whole. Took him about a half hour. He did to check the blood flow to my brain.
Yeah, and there wasn't any?
No, it's fine.
Oh.
I'm fine. No jokes. I'm fine. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. But
And he said I had a nystagmus. So
no, nystagmus is the test. It's not a disease. it's.
Well, I'll
it's just
ask him
the
next
test.
time I see him if he has a name for that test, but I doubt if he calls it nystagmus. This is something that he's been doing for years. He
Well,
didn't-
every cop's been doing it for years too. You know, hey, assume the position, put your hands behind your back. You know,
and my, you have a nystagmus.
yeah, nystagmus. Now, I don't know how to spell nystagmus, but there was an actual DUI case where the defense attorney asked the arresting officer because he said he used the nystagmus test as one way of developing his probable cause for arrest. So he said to the defense attorney said to the cop, "Can you spell nystagmus?" And the cop couldn't spell it, and they dismissed the case.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right.
They figured if he couldn't spell it, he couldn't use it.
Yeah.
And if that was his probable cause, then tough darts.
But anyway, so I went to the neurologist, and he said not much change in your neuropathy from what it was 6 months ago. He said if you want to, I can send you someplace downtown where they can give you exercises to get rid of that positional vertigo. And then I looked online, and there were things there that said exactly how it's done. So, yeah.
Oh.
And what
Okay.
happens is it's crystals in your ear that ruins your balance.
Oh, are they able to wash them out or
No,
flush them out?
no. You can only move them by doing head exercises. But the other thing was he then tried to say that what I had when I had that thing that took me to the emergency room is that
Yeah.
it was probably positional vertigo. And I said, I don't think so. I said, I may have had some symptoms of what you think is positional vertigo, but I really ate some bad food that night. And it was about 8 hours later, and that's when I got deathly ill.
Yeah.
I said, I've never had it like this. I've never been this. I'm lightheaded, I said, but not like this. I couldn't even get my head up. And he said, and finally when I left, he handed me a whole bunch of stuff about positional vertigo, and then he said, well, you might be right about what you had. you know. So
All right. Yeah. Pay at the desk.
yeah, he's an okay guy, but
Yeah.
all he
Well,
does
it's
is
just
prescribe
the
pills for
the
me.
disease du jour is positional vertigo.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
That was my day at the doctor today, and tomorrow I have a dental appointment
Nice.
to get my teeth cleaning, or as I call it, mining for gold. You know,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what they do is they clean your teeth, and then they take X-rays, and then they see all the things they can do to make money, and I don't trust that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I got one tooth that's a little slightly sensitive, but not to cold and not to heat and not to anything. I don't get it. It's not a toothache. It's
Yeah.
probably another root canal that is going kind of bad.
Yeah.
I don't want them to touch that. I don't need to. I had one for 10 years, and the tooth got looser and looser and looser. Eventually, it fell out on its own.
yeah. Well, I've got also tooth problems, some bone loss.
They
and-
always tell you you've got bone loss. They
Well,
always,
he showed me. He took an X-ray, and he showed me. He was able to look at earlier X-rays and.
and so what are they going to do about the bone loss? Oh, yes, they want to put bone in there, don't they?
Yes, they
Yeah,
do.
yes, they do.
But in order to do that, they're going to pull the tooth. They're going to put some bone in there, and then they want to do an implant.
Oh, you see? You see, now, does that tooth hurt?
Yes.
Oh, because this tooth doesn't hurt. So
And I get food underneath because it's like, you know, when they stick that little probe in and they say 3, 2, 1.
yeah. But I've been told for years that my teeth are great, but my gums have to go.
This one's a 10, and they're continually, they give me antibiotics to bring down the thing. There's some little tab they stick in there, and then
I had that too towards the end with this loose tooth, but it was going for 15 years before they pulled it.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, my point is that I hate going to the dentist, not because of what they do. Go ahead, clean my teeth, all right?
Yeah.
But now they're trying to find out a way to excise from me many thousands of dollars. Even though I have insurance, they want still many thousands of dollars, and I'm going. I'm just going to say
insurance only pays half.
whatever they want to do. If it's a few fillings they want to do, a few cavities they see, fine, go ahead and do it. If you want to remove this, go. No, you can't. You won't.
Yeah.
And we won't do it until I feel we need it. But I would like to replace a crown back here, which is
Yeah.
You
well,
know what?
that's
You know
when
what
they
I saw?
discovered-
I went online last night.
Yeah.
And I was looking at. I wanted to look for dentists that gave gas.
They all give gas. They just charge.
No, a lot of them just don't give it. You beg for it. You have to beg for it. Then they charge you an arm and a leg for it when that's the cheapest gas, around. Okay.
Yeah, $25, and they leave you on it for a whole half a tank.
Yeah, and oxygen. The two of them are not expensive gases. Okay. We had to buy the equipment. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go down and just buy some nitrous oxide, a tank of it, and bring it to my dentist and say, "Here, this is for me."
Go to one of those places that sells the tanks that fill balloons,
Yeah.
and instead of nitrous oxide, you get helium.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you take
But
a
anyway,
squirt
I looked at this thing, and among the things they did, they said, if you need a new crown, we can do it right here within an hour.
yeah, because they have those. They take a 3D thing, and
There's
they
a
have
thing they
these
put in your
films
mouth, and
yeah.
and then they take a picture of it, and then they put it somewhere, and it makes the tooth, and they put it in, and it's all within
Right.
all within your visit.
Yeah,
I want
and
that.
the
I don't.
only-
I don't want to have it sent out to somebody. Go up. What happened was my ex-girlfriend, one of my ex-girlfriends, she used to work for a dentist, not a dentist, but people who made crowns.
Right.
Okay.
A lab.
Yeah, a lab. And she said, "You know how much those crowns cost them to make? Do you know how much the crowns are?" And I said, no. She said,
$35.
Half the price of what your dentist charges you for them.
Oh,
Because
that's
the dentist
total lab charge.
The total charge for the crown
Right.
goes to your dentist, and then he doubles the price.
Well, I got news for you. Most things that you buy anywhere, they double the price. In retail, that's called a number. So if you mark it up a number,
but not all,
that's
not
doubling
all things,
the price.
Not all things.
Well,
are
some
double.
things are real commodities, that they only make a small percentage.
Well, all
of.
I'm saying is I would like to see where I could go. Let's say I want this crown, a new crown. Okay.
Yeah.
There's not much dentistry involved in that. It's pulling the old crown, it's putting in a temporary one while they're getting the new one made, and then it's getting the new one made.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I felt there should be places you could go that are just that make crowns.
Yeah,
they remove the crowns. No, just this is all they do. They remove the crowns, they measure them, they make them, and then they install them.
Don't they fit them?
Huh?
The dentist, after they set the crown on, they before they glue it into place, they do a lot of fitting and
it's a little bit of
the bite.
But all you got to do is have a person at one of these dental places that makes the crowns, who is a dentist basically, who can do that for you.
All right,
and
so
just
you
do
go
the whole
to the
thing,
dentist.
go the whole thing in one place, cheaper crowns. Because why should you pay almost $2,000 these days for a crown, when in fact it's not costing the dentist that much?
All right. Now, a person once said to me, "How much is a 1-inch drill bit worth?" And we'll relate this to the crown in a second. But how much do you think a 1-inch drill bit is worth? It's just a little bit of carbon steel, but tell me, what do you think it's worth?
I don't know.
Well, it depends on how much you need that 1-inch hole. So it's the same thing with why you're paying $2,000 for a dentist to fit the crown. It's how bad do you need it, and there are there are rules. And
well, it just bothers me that the price is jacked up that much. The price is jacked up on everything.
It is.
You know what I thought today? What I thought today was watching these stories about how much your electric bill this summer is going to be, more than last year. It's up 20%.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about the distribution charges?
Wait a minute.
Those?
Let me finish. Yeah. I think, and you're going to disagree with this, I think that the electric company should be nationalized.
I think everything should be nationalized.
No, I think that the electric company should be nationalized because they're screwing us big time.
And you don't think the government would screw us big time if they were in control
not as
of
much.
electrical?
No.
Well, aren't they regulated by the government? Aren't those charges all?
Look, if they are, then the government ain't on our side, because every year my bill goes higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, that's like,
you know how much my bill during the summer is for electricity?
$300.
Try $6.
Wow, that's what my bill is. My bill at the store, I have 6,000 square feet of showroom, and it runs between $500 and $800 a month, depending on the time of the year. And I'm running 2 big air conditioning units, tons of lighting, 6-8 computers that are always on, other things. I got a machine that weighs 8,000 pounds that's got 22 motors in it, and my bill runs between $600 and $800 a month.
Yeah, well,
your apartment, and you don't even pay for heat.
Huh?
It'd be different if you had heat. But you have steam. It's paid for by the.
But when it's winter time, my bill is somewhere down around $250, $300.
It's still crazy.
It's still crazy, And I guess the studio, I do have a lot of computers on, but these computers, for instance, the newest one I got doesn't burn warm at all.
They're all solid state.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about your computer, I went to the Apple store Sunday. So I said, yeah, what kind of chip? This is the M1 Ultra. And so they have you key it in.
The Ultra is at 400. Don't buy one of them.
Really?
Really?
Well, you just get the regular M1?
No, you get the Max, the M1 Max. The Studio with the M1 Max, not the M1 Ultra.
I don't even think they gave me that choice.
What do you mean they didn't give you that choice?
You had a little drop-down menu, and you clicked on the features you wanted.
There are two models. Well,
yeah.
if you go for the features and you go for the highest features, it's going to take you up to the Max, up to the Ultra.
I was at $7,000, and
this thing should not cost you like mine configured with the way I wanted it.
Yeah,
it cost me $2,500. Okay.
Yeah,
and it's got 64 gigabytes of basic memory, and then a terabyte of storage. What?
Yeah. How many cores?
10 cores.
Oh, okay. So I clicked on like the 20 core.
Yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't. Most people, if you go online to like YouTube and see people saying, "Well, what should you buy? Should you buy the that one, or should you buy the cheaper one?" Everybody's saying buy the cheaper one. That you're not getting that much more for your money by buying the expensive one, and you probably don't need it.
Yeah. Well, I decided I'm going to keep the garbage can, which
garbage can's great.
Yeah, it's fast enough. Until Adobe comes out with programs that it won't render, then I'm just going to keep using it.
Yeah, well, that'll be a long time before that happens.
Yeah.
So.
And because I upped this to 64 gigs of RAM.
Don't get that more expensive one. I mean, if the trouble is on that thing online, if you start saying, well, I want the 40 core, and I want the this and I want the that, it immediately pushes you up to the $4,000 machine. And in your case, it turned out to be $7,000. You don't need it. You don't need it.
Yeah, well, I understand.
This is doing a beautiful job. I've really no trouble with this. I've had trouble with programs that aren't up to the task.
Because it's more advanced than the programs
exactly.
Well, just if you want some story starters, we had a good guy with a gun at the Greenville Mall stop an active shooter within 15 seconds and saved hundreds of lives. So there was an example of a shooter. And there's one.
Yeah.
But the other interesting thing was I sent you a copy of this guy that I follow on YouTube, a former military guy, and he was breaking down the Uvalde shooting, and where the kids died in Texas. So the videos of the scene showed cops just sitting there cleaning their hands with
sanitizer.
Sanitizer. Now the guy that was on the phone with his wife, who happened to be the teacher in the classroom, and I believe she got killed. But that was the guy on the phone, so you really can't fault him. But all these other cops, they were just standing around doing nothing. The door was unlocked.
Yeah.
The kids were screaming for help, and this guy was massacring them. I believe that every single one of those cops, including the chief of police, should be held culpable for their inactivity or inaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
anyway, I knew you'd bring up the one good guy with the gun.
Of course you did. and there was 435 shootings in a multi-year period where it was an active shooter, and of those 75 had a good guy with a gun that stopped it, and 49 were stopped by bystanders.
Do you know how many gun deaths there were last year?
Less than COVID, I think. Well, are these gun deaths suicides or actual homicide?
All gun deaths.
Was it 50,000? That's my guess.
40,000.
40,000.
That's a lot, Phil.
Yeah, but most of them are suicides.
Not most of them are suicides, Phil.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'd have to look up the statistic.
Go look up the statistics, as you call it.
Statistics.
Statistics, yeah.
Yeah, the statistics. It's nuclear.
Yeah. Let me let me bring these people in, okay?
All right.
These are two people here. There's Alan and there's Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hundreds of lives. That I know that guy who killed the active shooter, of course, he saved lives, but not hundreds of lives.
The guy had 2 AR-15s, a handgun, and 100 rounds of ammunition.
I don't think I was.
He spent an hour prepping.
You're only giving a guess, speculating as to how many deaths.
No, this is reported.
No, Phil. They were speculating how many deaths there would have been.
The guy,
if a person wasn't killed, then the rest of them are speculation, Phil.
It's not a fact, Phil.
Oh, they have to die first for it to be a fact?
Yes.
You can't have a guy
to say that you saved several hundred lives. Yes.
Yes. Because this guy could have laid waste. You know that mall didn't allow concealed carry, but the guy was concealed anyway. How
do you know he's concealed?
Because he was just sitting there having lunch with his girlfriend, and he's not supposed to have a gun concealed in that mall. It's against their mall's policy. But if it wasn't for this guy, there would have been a lot of people shot that day.
Hundreds died.
Thousands.
Hundreds
of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands of people would have died if he hadn't stopped that guy. Yes, Alan.
So I want to comment on two things. A lot of dentists are going to laser crowns, laser-made crowns, and you know, Alex, you go in, and they take a picture, like you said, and they send it with computer to a machine that takes a block of whatever they make the crown out of, and it laser cuts the thing, and he comes in and fits it in your mouth. 1-day thing. What a great system, right?
Right. Well, you know, they can do it, according to this dentist, they can do it during your 1-hour visit.
Right. The laser.
I had a friend that worked for a company called Ivoclar Vivident, and they invented that machine that puts this special type of crown, and they have the lasers that cut the thing, and then they have a kiln.
This was some other company.
And they have a kiln that they put the
what did you say? A what?
A kiln.
No, it's a kiln.
Whatever. So they put it in there and they heat it up, and it changes the composition of the material, and that's when they can fit it in your mouth.
Well, I wanted to make a clarification on what Phil said. Alex, your doctor, your neurologist was probably right. So horizontal gaze nystagmus, since you didn't know the rest of it, Phil, is a medical term. It's done, this type of thing is medical. Horizontal is this way, vertical is this way. Since you used to be a cop, if somebody's got vertical gaze nystagmus, what drug are they on?
I don't know. We just use the horizontal and only look for the eye bounce. But after
it's a medical thing.
Yeah, how do you spell nystagmus?
It's called, the whole name is horizontal gaze nystagmus. You obviously never had to testify in court when you
No, not on that.
Not you.
Yeah.
And Phil wasn't really a police officer. He was a janitor in Richmond.
Fuck you.
Well, whatever he was, he was he was a good guy with a gun.
That's right.
Yeah.
Saving hundreds of lives.
Saving
thousands.
Every day.
Thousands.
Yeah. So anyway, I went to that doctor today. Tomorrow it's the dentist, where he'll try and charge me a fortune, and then let me see here.
Things are expensive there. $2,000 for a crown. Around here, it's like 1,100.
And how much are these? How much are these laser ones?
Oh, I'm gonna.
Oh, a couple thousand.
Okay.
No. My dentist just got a laser, and he's charging an extra $100 if you want it done.
You know, that machine cost $160,000.
His cost $40,000. He obviously didn't buy it from the Dumbo that you know of.
Well, maybe they've gone down in price since
Yes.
my friend was selling them.
Yes, Tony.
I actually had about 2 years ago my tooth crack in the back. The lady on the avenue didn't take insurance. She had that machine. It cost me $2,300 for the crown, but I had to wait like an hour or hour and a half in the chair. She goes downstairs and pulls it up. So it was like a 2-hour visit, maybe a little more.
That's what Alex was
Why
saying.
are they charging that much money for that?
Because
Alex, it cost me $2,300 out of my pocket.
Have
She
you
knew what it
seen
was,
his
but it was
mouth?
good for it.
Have you seen his mouth? That's why they
Yeah,
charge.
well, it was the one in the back. When I visit, I'll show you. It actually, Alex, it was the best. It was like she was great. The crown went right in. It wasn't even like. It's probably the best crown I've ever had. I've had a couple in the back, but that was like. I said, "Can you?" Really
You would
do
just
this?" She did.
think.
I had
You
to
would
sit in the
just
chair and
think
wait.
that this new method of doing it would have changed everything.
It
you
took
know,
like an hour.
Would have
She left
changed
me
the
there.
cost of it.
Well, the reason
it might have been but it was at least $2,000. I know that.
I think it does change the cost, Alex, and I think
She did good work.
after a dentist does enough of them, it pays for itself. You know, because he's got to pay a dental lab to make the crown. You know, they take the impressions and he sends it off to a dental lab.
He may have to pay for that machine, but he's also getting every penny on the crown.
Well,
Absolutely.
they lease those machines.
So
They lease.
I'm going to trust you, Phil. They
Well,
lease
I
the
told you I
machines.
had a friend that sold those. For,
There are
didn't
other
sell them
there,
or lease
Phil.
them?
There are other machines. I saw the one last night had another name for it.
Well, 3M makes them also, and so he went from Ivoclar to 3M. But the,
No, he didn't
the
go to 3M.
Ivoclar machine
I don't know what
is the one that has the kiln and all those other
Kiln.
things. Yeah,
Kiln.
yeah, you're killing
What do
me.
they need a kiln for? They take a block
Because
of hard
the material changes in its molecular composition when it's heated.
Can we talk about Trump or something more exciting?
Yeah, yeah.
Joe Biden has cancer.
Sounds good.
I'm ready.
That's cancer. That's funny.
I can't believe I got that. I'm gonna drop it.
Let me see here.
So, Alan,
Is that what TikTok said, Tony?
No,
Actually, no. You know what it is? It's. I'll send you the article. It looks like a legitimate article.
Same day crowns. It's called CEREC.
I'll send it to you right now. I don't know.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, CEREC. Art of the state process that allows our staff to perform a variety of dental restoration procedures in a single visit.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, they also make the tooth implants in that same kind of machine, but don't they have to make the post go in first and let the bone grow over the post?
Phil,
That's
He knows
what
she's
happens is, Phil, with an implant, they put in a screw, basically, with a post on it. Okay?
Right.
Or not with a post on it. Actually, they put the post in later on. And
First
then
they
on top-
extract the teeth
Yeah. And then they
and they sew it together. They let it heal for like 4 months, and then they stick the post of the screw thing in
the
there.
screw thing in there, and it sticks
And
in
they have
there
to let
for
that
about,
heal
for about
into
2 or
the
3
bone.
months.
Brian, does that go through your
wait a
gum?
minute. And then they put a crown on top of it. So that would be the same crown they would make with this machine,
Right.
you know? So
No, that's correct.
But Phil's friend, who always carries an extra 100 rounds of ammo for his gun in his pocket, developed the first laser cutting. I don't know.
You're an idiot. Hey, what kind of
You're
bed?
one to talk.
Yeah, what kind of bed did you get?
You and your kill. your
It's a Sealy Tempur-Pedic. It's good for your back, and it's got like 2,000
Tempur-Pedic?
individually pocketed coils in it.
Oh, I thought the Tempur-Pedic was the memory foam.
No. Memory foam. Anybody that buys memory foam is a sucker.
yeah, memory foam.
That shit's no good.
Yeah.
Yep, that's for sure.
Wait a minute. There's Charlie. Where are you, Charlie? You must be somewhere. You're not in your home, are you? You're somewhere.
It's
No.
like a Motel 6.
He's in Arkansas. It looks like Arkansas.
Yep. I'm in booming Brinkley, Arkansas.
I could tell.
And
Motel 6, you're right.
And what takes you to Brinkley, Arkansas, besides a plane or a car?
No, I drove. I'm on my way to a family reunion this weekend
Oh, okay. All right.
in Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, all righty. The Bluegrass State.
Yeah, I was going to say the bluegrass.
It's a
thing.
beautiful state.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful state. Gorgeous.
You know, we were talking about teeth, but you're in Arkansas. Nobody has teeth.
Texas either.
Neither in Queens. Look at me.
But anyway, so so my blood flow to my brain's okay.
Good.
Good.
That's important. If you get lightheaded.
Well,
then you-
I said to him, I said, you know, he said, I noticed you were in the emergency room because he was Mount Sinai, so everything all my doctors get all my stuff. And I said, yeah. And he said, what happened? And I told him whatever. And I said, and then I said, they gave me every test. They tested every inch of my body. He said, not quite.
They didn't do in the stagnus.
No. So then he gave me, it took about a half hour, various tests to check the blood flow to my brain and to my eyeballs, by the way.
Wow.
And
So how's the blood in your head?
yeah, so and I'm fine. I got, you know, he said you have no problems. That way.
Good. Good.
He
So
said-
with all this poking and prodding, you're going to live a little longer? You know, look what they did to you in the emergency room. How many tests? Oh, how much was it?
I
How
don't
much
know.
was the bill?
I'm still looking,
You didn't
Yeah.
get
and I haven't seen anything yet. Wait a minute. Let me go to my. What is the name of that thing? My.
Oh, your portal?
My Medicare.
Ah.
Oops. My Medicare. Ah.
Remember, my guess was 50 grand.
No, I can't.
No, I'm
Oh, I bet
thinking.
it's more. I bet it's 75 grand. That's my guess.
No, my take is that probably it's somewhere around. I mean, what they tried to bill
Yeah.
would be what do you call it? Well, I'd say 20,000. You know,
Try
I
to
think
bill.
You walk into the ER and it's
That's the place is
20,000
right.
around here.
let me see.
Yeah.
The last 30 days, last 6 months. Let me see here. Apply. Well, here are. These are just some doctors. I haven't seen anything. Well, wait a minute. From the hospital.
Maybe it's free.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it were free, wouldn't it? Let me see here. When was that particular thing? 8th of There's some of them that came in $42, $35. This is what Medicare paid.
That was for a tongue depressor?
Yeah, I'm
Medicare
sure.
approved amount for $467. Medicare approved amount 78, 68, 109, 0. What was 0? 216. This is what Medicare pays. This isn't what was billed.
Yeah.
Okay, see, on the $216 paid, what was billed, I think, was, the amount charged was $993.
And they paid how much?
They paid $216.
Well,
But, you know, if they're going to be part of Medicare, they have to accept what Medicare says it's worth. All right. So. But I don't think I've gotten all the stuff. I don't see anything there for CT scans. I don't see things there for, echocardiograms, on and on and on. So, but I don't know. Maybe some of those are for echocardiograms. I haven't checked. I will later.
hey, Brian,
Yeah.
he likes your hat better than he likes mine. Yeah.
Which one? Mega?
Yeah, well, here, hold on a second. Let me show you.
Yeah, this is a hat off right here. We got a hat off.
Nice hat. Nice,
Wants free
nice.
advertising.
Yeah, and then this hat.
Yeah, well, I figured your
If it were red, you could put "Make America Great Again," and there'd be no difference.
Tear out your hardwood floors. Make America carpet again.
You
No
know,
hardwood floors.
I wonder if Disney, if Trump actually made those hats look the way they do because he wanted them to look like
And they were
Elmer.
made in China, of course. He
Well,
did.
no, it looks like Elmer
actually-
Fudd.
Yes, they do look like Elmer Fudd. But if you, I don't know if you can see that. It says "Made in USA." You see the flag?
Yeah, right.
Made in
Oh.
USA. Unlike,
Yeah, I believe that.
Tony's
Yeah, but
stuff.
that label was made in China.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're made in China.
Printed in China.
They said made in
Yeah. Yeah. Cali frame headwear. So does that mean it was made in California and they didn't even vote for Trump here?
A few of us did.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you got to remember that California, if you leave San Francisco and
Los Angeles,
Los
Sacramento,
it's right wing.
and
Absolutely.
In between Sacramento and Oakland or San Francisco is Lodi, where I go, and there's guys with the trucks with the two big flags. You know, one's F.
Now
Biden.
you go to Vacaville, where Phil and I go sometimes for a synagogue, and it's very Republican there.
You know, though, this is the first election that I didn't want to put a Trump sticker, or the second election, that I didn't want to put a Trump sticker on my car because I didn't want somebody to vandalize it. Yeah.
Smart.
You can always cover it up with a Carpet One sticker.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Now, I took all stickers off. I used to have pro-police stickers and things like that.
See, what's also very nice, might I add, about Brian's hat, nowhere on here is the name of the company.
I could have said his no.
It's just the logo, right?
Yeah, but you got the Nike logo on there, and on the brim.
Is that a Nike logo?
Yes. Wow, it sure is. That's probably a $25 hat.
Yeah, well, no, because they're exploiting people in China, ripping out their livers to make those hats.
Make another 1,000. You're not leaving.
Oh boy, don't you love this, Charlie? Whenever we have Phil on, all the misinformation.
Yeah, hey, you know, you want to buy a Uyghur liver or kidney? No problem. Made in China.
You know,
Hey, Charlie, how many people are going to be at your reunion?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Is this the first time since COVID, right? You guys have met?
Yeah.
Is this a class reunion?
No, it's my family reunion.
Family reunion. Okay.
Yeah.
Because don't go to
Nice.
at your age. Don't go to a class reunion. Don't do that.
Yeah,
I haven't
my-
gone to one yet.
It's going to
My
depress you.
50th, my 50th class reunion for high school is coming up in a few months, and I said I wasn't going. I didn't want to go back to New York to see people that I didn't even like when I was in high school. Why the hell would I want to fly across the country to see these people now?
Exactly. Exactly.
You know?
right, because you might get some class.
I was lucky to get out of that class. You know,
Yeah.
What high school did you go to?
it was Lakeland High School in Mohegan, New York,
Yeah.
and Lake Mohegan is up by Yorktown. You know, up in Westchester, almost to Putnam
Now, to
County.
prove that Americans have the what's the word where you can't remember things for a long time?
Alzheimer's
No,
or
no
dementia.
Amnesia.
No, they have
No retention.
no retention. Yeah. Is the fact that the first lady of Ukraine had to come here to remind us that there was a war going on over there.
Yeah.
You know, her initials are ZZ. Her last name's Zelensky, and her first name is like Zytophone or something.
And her last name is Top.
Hey, well, I was thinking of that. She doesn't have the beard, though.
Anyway.
No comment.
She did? I guess she's from Ukraine. Maybe she does have the beard.
Yeah,
That's
well,
pretty bad.
we just don't have a good memory of stuff.
Our
you know?
attention span is zero.
That's the word I was looking for.
Do you think it's the media that is no longer...
What was that word
enthralled?
again? I don't have the attention span.
attention span there.
Yeah.
They have these.
I see Charlie's being careful about wearing T-shirts that say sayings on it when you're in Arkansas, huh? Somebody will look at that and say,
No, but stand up a little bit there, Charlie.
That's a
Let's see
fake
what
news?
this one is. I mean,
what does it say?
False. Funny because it isn't.
Oh,
No, it's funny because it's true. That's a computer for not false.
Oh.
okay.
See?
We couldn't where you were at. I couldn't see you. It just looked like you were wearing a black T-shirt.
does everybody like my new background?
GabNet, huh? That's kind of neat.
No, but also that's my new couch. It's our new couch.
Very nice.
Oh.
Is that like charcoal gray?
That's what Phil
No,
asked.
Yeah, he says it's green.
it's green.
Yeah.
It doesn't
It's
look
just-
green here.
And-
No, it
and-
doesn't have enough light.
Yeah,
It's got,
and here's a new rug.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You paid retail.
And did you notice my new opening to the show?
No.
You didn't.
Hmm?
We changed the opening.
Everybody do the drinking.
Oh, wait a minute. It had Alan and Jack stuff on it.
What?
Maybe that was a PSA. It was Alan and Jack on Jack's show. It was
Yeah.
stuff on Jack's show.
See, I'd play it for you guys, but you wouldn't be able to see it. So
yeah.
unless you
I like
looked
the
at your
exchange
computer.
where Brian is talking about marrying Mandy and becoming
Yeah,
Brian
yeah.
O'Brien.
Yeah, that was cute.
Well, that's the promo. Yeah, but I have
That
a whole
was
new
funny.
opening where
That's cute.
I redid
That was
the
great.
guy saying, the cartoon guy.
Oh,
yeah.
I
didn't
redid
notice
that.
that.
Because what happened was every year I didn't make up a new one. I just simply laid over a new announcement saying the year, and after a while it was never in sync.
I thought that's because Rob lost weight, and that's why you changed the
So,
cartoon guy.
I redid it.
Made him skinnier.
I redid it, and made it right in sync. And that's me acting it out.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then I put in all new visuals, all new graphics, all new of New York City and so on. And
Nice. I'll have to pay attention next time.
you have to pay attention at the beginning of the show.
Going back to Ukraine stuff though.
Yeah.
I just saw some other stuff, and they have the stand with Ukraine. This old stuff that we said before, and I mean even Ukraine's not standing too high right now, right? I mean, is anything going to be done? I mean,
I think
there and
I think
nothing
something
happens.
should be done. I think we will be very ashamed of ourselves when that country falls. It's not very nice. Not very
I
nice.
don't-
I mean, bombing schools now, and just everything really bad. Still, I watch the BBC stuff, and
There are 9 million people have 9 million people have already left Ukraine. Now they only had a population of 44 million, and within the first weeks, like 2 million left. But now 9 million. Eventually there'll be nobody there to resist, and Russia will walk through it and take.
No, who left is
take care of
the
it.
families left, the wives and the children. The men stayed behind to fight.
Yeah, and yeah.
So you're wrong again, Phil.
No, well, they were also saying that there was a lot of invalids and blind people and people that couldn't get out of there. They're trapped. Can you imagine being blind and having bombs falling, in buildings next to you and not being able to, to get out of there or be in a safe place? What an awful way to live.
Yeah, but you don't know it.
being blind is already bad enough.
I didn't say they were deaf.
Well, what happens if you're not blind and not deaf and a bomb lands on you? That's bad too.
Yeah, well, they should have been one of those 9 million that got out of there. But
Why don't
I
you
think
go over there and evacuate those people?
Yeah, I think what's happening is the reason that they're not getting the money, they're not getting the weapons that they were promised, is that the media isn't covering the story as much as it used to. It used to be right in the forefront of the news, and now all they talk about is January 6th.
I'm so sick. I'm so sick of what I'm sick of is that there are like 5 stories in the news, and that's all that MSNBC covers.
I don't watch it anymore. Fuck the news.
Yeah, I mean, I get so tired. I say to Marjorie, if this were a channel and they were running the same movie over and over again, would you watch it? This is also true of Fox and of CNN and all of them. Yeah, yes, Brian.
I'm having a hard time keeping up with these killers, with the shooting guys. They start talking about Parkland, and then they have the guy that went to trial. There's another guy who went to trial, and then there was just a shooting, and there was a shooting last week, and all these guys that they capture or that die, I keep forgetting which one is which because there's so many now. In San Francisco, where was it, you guys? Not in San Francisco. I think it was Chinatown, where these guys went right up to this guy who was going to work, and they shot him. They have it right on film, and that was just like 2 days ago.
Well, if they go around killing everybody that shoots people, we're not going to find out why this stuff happens, because we're not going to be able to interview them or do an exit interview,
They should be able to get their computer and all the other stuff that they left at home, and be able to analyze, what their motives were. They do that,
but the desire is, first of all, to shoot somebody rather than to go for the leg or to go for some part of their body which would disable them.
Alan will tell you the same thing I will, that does not stop the threat. If you're trying to stop the threat...
That's what they told you in cop school.
Yeah, well, it happens to be true.
That's what they told you. It's not true. It's not,
Alan.
Bullet, right?
Alan, let this guy bring him to reality here.
You shoot me in the leg with a bullet, I think I'm going down.
You are going down, but this other guy that's hopped up on PCP is just going to keep
Are they all hopped up on PCP, Phil?
Yes.
In Phil's neighborhood.
Wait a minute. all of them are
in Richmond. They were,
and that's why hundreds of thousands of people are dying every day. Is because
millions
of people
and
shooting
millions.
people while they're on
Alex,
PCP.
the best way to stop the threat is a headshot. The absolute best way is to go send a bullet through the brain. But that isn't always practical or easy to do. So
target.
We usually go for the biggest part of the body, and that's center mass. And you hit a couple times, and the person can continue to shoot until they bleed out or you hit something vital.
And
hitting a hand is not. Cops get shot with their hands out with a gun. They get shot in the hand all the time.
Because the bad guy
and they continue to shoot.
The bad guy has tunnel vision, and he's looking at the gun, and he shoots the gun, and we know cops that got hit and lost their thumbs because they were going in, and the guy shot him and shot him in the hand because they were focused on the gun.
God, do I hate this country?
Yeah.
Huh?
Time to get rid of all the guns. Let's start with the AR-15.
Yes, Mr. Tony Trumpy.
Yeah, I mean, I want to ask Alan a question. How many times did you have to fire your gun when you were in duty? Did you ever?
How many times you're gonna ask or ask?
Ask you. How many times did you have to actually pull it out and use it? Actually, physically fire?
Pulled it out daily. Used it. I was in 2 shootouts.
Really?
Yeah. I never had to shoot anyone, but I pulled it out.
I didn't say I shot anybody. They shot, we shot, and nobody got hit.
I pulled it out any number of times.
Yeah. They have that on
just like
film
Louis
on
CK.
9th Street.
Yeah,
when
now
you
I'm in
were
trouble
urinating on
for
the
it.
door.
Yeah. Oh boy. I just
every day.
Marjorie and I both agree. We both hate this country right now. Just hate it.
Yeah.
Just detest it.
The only thing that's worse is when Trump was in office.
It's terrible. I mean, it's absolutely terrible. I mean,
shootings.
You try and pass things in Congress that are just, things like climate change. Come on. You're not going to tell me there's a climate problem. Have you seen Europe right now?
And they've had this issue for a while, but there's a pollution problem. I don't think there's a climate problem.
Phil.
You know what it takes to move something in geology?
It is the planet saying, fuck you, you can't do this to me. Basically. And if you have that attitude, you're going to be killing people, Phil. You may as well just line them up with your little gun and shoot them.
It is cyclical. Things like this.
No, this is
happen
not
every
cyclical.
so many years.
Yes, climate changes, climate ebbs, it flows and whatever, but it doesn't do what this is doing. Am I right, Charlie? You're the science guy.
You're right.
I agree.
There'll be
with you
money
too,
in air
Alex.
conditioners.
I agree with you too, Alex.
You know, it's horrible,
That's
and
'cause
it's
you're a
horrible
kiss-ass,
that
Alan.
anybody. It's ridiculous that anybody would vote against doing something. Against trying to put in more wind, more solar.
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with that?
Wind and solar aren't going to power the grid. You got all of these Teslas that you got to plug in. And in Texas, Charlie, in Texas, they said, don't charge your Teslas because the grid isn't going to be able to handle it.
That's because
That's
Texas
because
is
they
run by
be-
Republicans.
Well, tell them
Yeah,
what.
well,
Wait a minute.
that's what-
Hold on a second, Phil. Tell them what they did in Texas, Charlie, about the electricity.
They did absolutely nothing. They separated from the national grid, and then proceeded to let it completely run into the ground.
Yeah.
They don't take care of it. They can't handle extreme heat or cold.
That sounds like a Republican doing that.
That's right. It's been run by Republicans, and they run it into the ground.
Who was the woman that was a Democrat that was the governor of Texas?
Ann Richards.
And
Ann
Richards.
Richard. It was her fault.
Oh, look who's there. Hey, Adrian. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
She still got COVID?
Oh no.
No? Good.
No.
Are you
I-
over yours?
Yeah, I just got over mine, and then they want me back to work on Friday. It's been 10 days, so
Really? They miss you, huh?
yeah. And then you guys don't know, but on the Monday show we talked. She got a little hurt. Actually, one
Oh yeah.
gun.
On
Yeah.
the Monday show, she got hurt, or she talked about it on the.
She
We talked about getting hurt.
She fell off the bed at night because I was sleeping in here because of my COVID. So she slept in with mommy, and somehow she went off the bed and landed right on her chin. So
Ow.
inside here was cut, like a really big cut. And I got mad because I took her to ER on Saturday morning, and they said, "Oh, just bring her home; she'll heal." And I said, "No, I want a second opinion." And then they actually called the doctor, ear, nose, and throat person. They gave me some mouthwash medicine, and it's actually been healing. They say because kids their age and the tissue in here, but when you see it, you pull down,
Yeah.
you could
Laura
see.
Hexadrine,
Yeah, you could see her jaw underneath there is really nasty.
right? Chlorhexidrine or something. You put it in your mouth and swish it around and spit it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So
And
you-
now it's almost healed all the way.
are you feeling better, Adrian? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, next time, push Daddy out of the bed. Let him hit the floor.
Yeah.
Usually she does it kicks too. Okay, go. Say bye. Say bye.
You combine, falling
Bye-bye.
off the bed and having that happen on top of the COVID.
Yeah.
Poor baby.
Yeah.
But I've had like it before COVID. Before when Tiffany had COVID, then I couldn't go into work, and then we had the 4th of July break, and then she had COVID, and I couldn't go to work, and then I got COVID, couldn't go to work, so I haven't gone to work like in 3 weeks. So I've been doing Zoom calls, but it's the first time I'll be in on Friday. So.
But you were able to go to Disneyland, right?
Yeah, there was a good break in there between everybody. So
So
well, how
that's when
convenient.
and then Simon didn't get it at all.
Wow.
Wow, lucky him.
That happens though. I don't know who I was talking to, but they said his whole family got it and he didn't get it.
Yeah, my friend.
I've never had COVID.
My best friend, he drove up from Disneyland.
I think he froze.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, if you hear us, you froze.
Where's
Yeah.
your sign, Charlie? You're frozen.
It's at home.
Well, he probably doesn't know. Well, it all depends on what's happening on his end. There we go.
Oh, there he
Now
is.
Okay, you were
You
frozen.
were frozen. You were like this,
Yeah,
telling
I
a
know.
story.
Your internet connection is unstable.
Oh.
You must have Comcast too.
No, it's busy.
Looks fine now.
Simon's playing game.
Yeah, I bought a new game today, a new video game.
Yeah. Kill or be killed?
No, they're saying a lot of people are saying it's the best game to be out this year. and it's a good family game.
Oh,
It's called-
for action shooter.
No, it's called Stray,
Yeah.
and you're a cat.
Okay.
Have you heard about this, Tony?
It's got a picture on the cat. On the cat, it's got a picture.
I have
of Tony's
it's,
face.
I have the Nintendo, so I don't think it's a Nintendo.
Nintendo? Oh, you still have a Nintendo.
I got the Switch, yeah. I got every one of them. Yeah. I love
Nintendo? Was this one of the old Nintendos?
No, I got the new Switch.
The new one? Oh, well, they didn't make this for the
Finish up.
Nintendo.
I had a Pong game.
That's Atari, yeah.
No,
Remember
but
Pong?
it's about
I
it's a
remember.
cat, and it's a
Yes.
cat going through this robot world basically, and trying to survive it. You know, but it's a short game. It's not a long game, and it's really the cat is adorable. You know.
You know, Tony, without Atari and without Pong, who knows where we would be today?
Oh, I love my video games.
Without LSD, do we know where we'd be today? There's a
We-
good
we would-
show on Netflix. Change My Mind.
Yeah.
Have you seen that, Alex?
No.
Yeah, Change My Mind.
Is that
Yeah,
the guy
it's
that goes
pretty
to
good.
college campuses and then talks to college students? Change my mind. No, not that guy.
No, but it's
Wrong again,
so it's
Phil.
13 part.
I asked a question.
Hard to believe in
I had
them.
nothing to drink, or I'd be drunk by now. So the first one he did was LSD, then he did something else, and then he did MDMA. So MDMA was really good, and the LSD stuff. I mean, he credits. So our cartridge, the one we used to use PCR, which is we take the DNA in here and we split it and we glue it back together millions of times.
Mhm.
And they said the guy who invented that was on LSD when he was discovering that. And they credit the computer. They credit a lot of stuff to LSD.
Did they credit some of my earlier radio programs to LSD?
I was gonna ask you. I know you did a lot of other stuff. Did you
Actually,
LSD?
no. I think when you were listening to me, I did a lot of cocaine. But by then,
Yeah,
I'd been
you seem
through.
very-
I was through with LSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that more New York time?
What?
Was that more
no,
in the New
actually,
York
it was
days?
when I was living in Houston. I did a lot of acid. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because I had read Aldous Huxley's Doorways of Perception, which is about his experiences with LSD, and I was fascinated by it because it could be used as a very constructive drug, and you could bypass years of psychiatry with just one LSD session. And
Microdosing. That's what they call it, microdosing, and that's what they're trying to get legal again.
what they're
Round dot, window pane. You know.
But what they're doing also, the other drug, psilocybin.
That was number 2, episode 2. Yeah.
Yeah, psilocybin, and psilocybin
Listening on
they're
that.
using a lot lately. In fact, Ronnie, my ex-wife, took a course of psilocybin with somebody when she was dying to make her get through the issues of dying and the fear of dying.
Valium works good.
Well, no, psilocybin really works. They say that it's helped a lot of people.
Give
As
some
it-
to Phil. Maybe he will be not so negative all the time.
You ever see what that stuff looks like when they have it in the jar and it's got some sort of liquid around it? Who would eat that stuff?
You don't eat it.
The
liquid
mushroom?
absorbs it, and you make tea out of it.
Okay,
Lucky
wait,
are you?
let Alex finish. So Ronnie was using that to help. They did show a couple of cases where they were using that for psychiatry, and they were like, so one guy had a problem about his parents that got murdered, and he actually went back on the LSD trip and tried to resolve some of those issues. like that.
what's the name of the show on Netflix?
He
Oh,
said, change my mind.
My mind. It's brand new, so you'll see it. It's 13 episodes. There's only 3 so far, and they do a lot of research. You know, they talk to Tim Curry and those kind of people who are really involved with these drugs, trying to get them legal again.
Yeah.
So they're already on Netflix, right, Brian?
Yeah, just start.
Oh, maybe I'll start watching it tonight.
The
You
guy I
knew,
was
you knew Timothy Leary, right?
Yeah, is that the Netflix
Alex?
with commercials or without
Yeah,
commercials?
they get it
Without-
next year.
The guy I was talking about, the Change My Mind guy, was Steven Crowder. It's called Louder with Crowder, and he sets up a booth at a college. And
No, this is real history of the drugs. They go back into the history and the guys who are really driving a lot of those.
Did they go back and talk about? Did they talk
experiments.
about? They went back and talked about how it all started.
Yeah, how it started, what the drug was used for, how they were using it, and then how they're.
Did they talk about
No, I mean, let me
the
hold on a second.
psychedelic church?
Hold on a second, Phil,
Yeah.
please. No, I mean the beginning of LSD, or what we called LSD, was a thing years ago. There was a disease that was known as St. Anthony's Fire, in which entire towns would go crazy, and they didn't know why. And they finally figured out that what happened was the rye in the town, because rye was a major staple of French food, the rye went bad. And when it went bad, it created a substance called ergot. And ergot was the main ingredient in LSD. It was a kind of chemical version of ergot. And entire towns would go crazy. And eventually a guy by the name of Dr. Hoffman, who was living, I think, in France, suddenly was trying to find a cure for migraine headaches. And he was trying several compounds. And one night he was riding his bike home, and all of a sudden his wheel looked like it was melting. And, you know, I mean, he suddenly had this incredible trip that he was going on. And when he woke up the next morning, he tried to backtrack and figure out what went on. And he remembered that in one of these tests, he had licked his finger.
Yeah.
And that was
Phil
it.
does
That
that when
was
he
it.
goes to the
And
restroom.
that was the beginning of lysergic acid diethylamide tartrate.
Can I eat your
25.
20.
But
I think they were saying they absorbed his skin or something like that, and that's when he figured out. Yeah, mescaline is the next one. that
there
they're doing.
was Baba Ramdas.
Did you see that
and-
Tony had his hand up?
I was going to ask you a question, a drug
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
I've never done any drugs, but I was going to ask you a question.
I find that hard to
What was the better
believe.
drug,
Yeah,
LSD
no
or
shit.
cocaine? What was the better trip, Alex? LSD or cocaine, if you had to say?
Well, LSD was a trip. Cocaine was it was a drug. It was a high.
Oh,
Yeah,
was it
so-
okay.
Sex on cocaine is fantastic. You got to try it if you ever have sex, Tony.
Yeah, but you can't get it up on cocaine. You got to take a Quaalude
Well,
too.
the best
Really?
the best sex I ever had was on ecstasy.
Yeah.
Really?
Ecstasy is
never
the
had
warm
that.
and fuzzy drug, huh?
Yeah, well, ecstasy was not a dangerous drug,
Right.
and even any doctor you talk to will say it was not dangerous. But man, was it great to have sex on. It
What
was
is it?
just
Is it like a hyper, or is it what kind of
no.
drug?
It's
Ecstasy makes you
exactly
warm
what
and
they say
fuzzy.
it is. Ecstasy.
It's the love drug.
The love drug, warm and
I
fuzzy.
went to many parties and met many people. You go there. Yeah, so.
You notice on the air he doesn't say that he used
Who?
Brian, who.
Oh,
He went
Brian.
to many parties and met many people.
Many people who were high on.
Everything
not-
I do.
Many.
And what were they like, Brian? Well, they were melting.
No, but there are a lot of fun stuff. But ketamine was very fun. Ketamine I like. That was my fun stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
You did ketamine?
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Ketamine is horse tranquilizer.
Hey, they have human tranquilizer too.
Okay.
And I was a connoisseur. I could tell the difference between all of them.
You know the difference between Rora and Lemon? You remember that?
No.
Aurora was a chemical company.
Right. And Lemon?
Was another one.
Right. And they were both 714.
What?
The Rora 714.
Which was
And the lemon-
Quaaludes. Which was
Yeah.
Quaaludes.
Quaalude.
Yeah.
Right.
And what was
How,
lemon?
how to change
Lemon
your
was a Quaalude.
It was too.
When Rora stopped making them, Lemon, they started saying Lemon.
They used to have a drug in Spain, and you could buy it over the counter, and it was called Dormadinas, and it were a little half a dose of Quaaludes in a pill, and you could go into any pharmacy and buy them. And they came in a little thing with the 10 of them in the tin.
You know, changing the subject a little bit. Did you ever watch that show where people get crazy on airplanes and they got to get or they're drunk and they get thrown off? And there's another one I watch on YouTube where people are trying to get into Canada and they stop them at the border, and if they've had any legal issues or they've got a little bit of marijuana or something with them, they can't come in, or if they have more than $10,000 in cash. You ever watch that one?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let me look the name. It's actually interesting.
Are you happy, by the way, Brian, with Netflix?
I haven't been watching that much Netflix because they haven't had much on until this show, but yeah, I'm not that happy with
because
it.
I told Marjorie tonight, I was saying, if I didn't live with you, I wouldn't be subscribing to Netflix right now. There's really not that much on it of any great worth, and I just, I
agree. I just saw this because it's like brand new, and then it said drugs in it, so it captured my interest.
They're going batshit because they lost 1 million subscriptions.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
They're going to lose me too. They just raised the price.
You know what? The whole COVID stuff. Peloton's doing terrible.
Yeah.
We have a Peloton sitting in the foyer that Marjorie's trying to sell now.
I know. But all these companies that were, all the in-home stuff, that's the companies now that are sort of suffering a little bit, and it's a risk, right?
Well, I mean, the fact is, I think that what happened with Netflix is they priced themselves out of the market.
They just raised the price again. I got a price increase, and there's nothing new on Netflix. So I just got Hulu. And I'm probably going to get Paramount Plus, and I'll get rid of Netflix because I got, how many can you want?
Very good, and if you want a good deal, although I can't sign on to Disney tonight for some reason, but although I can go to Hulu and ESPN Plus, they have Disney Plus has a bundle, which includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. And I think it's only something like $14.95 or $19.95 if you want Hulu without commercials, which I prefer.
Yeah, but I don't watch Disney. I don't like those things, and I don't watch ESPN because I have no interest in sports.
Yeah. Well, Marjorie likes ESPN Plus, and she loves Hulu.
Yeah.
They got my favorite show is back again. What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you have watched that, but it's wonderful. No. It's just wonderful.
Oh, that show I was talking about was called Nothing to Declare.
What show?
The one on YouTube where people are trying to get into Canada.
Oh.
It's called Nothing to Declare. It's actually pretty interesting.
Well, YouTube doesn't have shows. YouTube has shows that people put up individually.
Right. This one's called Nothing to Declare. Mm-hmm. And there must be 100 episodes.
What were you saying, Alan? Your mic isn't on.
Yeah, he did us a favor.
I was just saying I like Declares. They're good. They're tasty. And this thing that Phil said that they did 100 episodes, they're all Trump rallies.
No, they're not. Idiot. Now you can take a drink.
Idiot.
Yeah. But I just think that the trouble with I'm paying $19.95 for Netflix because I want to get 4K. They're charging you for 4K.
Wow.
All these other groups like Disney and so on don't charge you extra for 4K.
How come you don't just get Netflix and in your group of friends.
Well,
share it.
here's what somebody suggested you do with any of these. Get Hulu and watch Hulu. And if there's nothing on Hulu anymore that you want to watch, unsubscribe to it. And you can subscribe to it again later when there's some more stuff on it you want to watch. In other words, you can drop them, you can go back to them, you can do all of that, you know. Why not?
Yeah,
I'm
glad
big
you
can
got
afford a
Netflix.
couch and a carpet like yours. I wouldn't worry about $20 a month.
It adds up, Alan. You know,
It does add
start
up.
You start looking at all these crazy subscriptions, and
I don't have all those crazy subscriptions.
yeah, that's
I have
because you're a
Prime.
schnurrer.
I have Prime and I have Netflix. And Netflix is new to me, so, you know, there's a lot of stuff on it for me.
Now, pretty soon you're going to lose that because they won't let people share the Netflix screen anymore. If there are people that,
They're only doing that in South America.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
they're only doing that.
I
in
thought they
South-
were going to do it in the States.
They
no?
keep claiming they're going to, but you know something? I think with all the people that are quitting, I don't think they want to take the chance now. You know?
Yeah, I think
They
that-
warned Phil not to give it to all his neighbors.
Well, I didn't. You know, they're. I don't even remember my password, but they're raising it another $1, and you know, I think they've raised it a couple of times, and
Yeah.
I thought
Just
your
this year.
password-
yeah,
I thought your password is I go down on Trump.
yeah, really.
But you can get the commercial version of Netflix soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you want it?
Well, because that way you don't have to pay as much.
Yeah, but have you seen anything new on there? I mean,
I haven't seen anything I want to watch, but Marjorie's always looking for stuff on there to watch. And she's watching some weird, vague movie that nobody else watched except her. You know, but of course it's a Netflix original. Oh,
very
there
original.
she is again. There's the babe.
He wants to say goodnight.
Yeah, boy.
Right.
That
You know what? In 3 minutes, it will be good night.
It will be good night. Yeah, yeah. And look at that. I love that streak in her hair. That looks great. You know.
He's pointing to your cabinet in your picture now.
Oh,
See,
see, I got a new picture there. This is our new couch too, Adrian.
Why don't you get a picture of Adrian instead of the Gabnet TV thing?
Well, that we could do that too. You know, we can make her the poster child
Absolutely.
that's his
for
apartment.
for Gabnet. We can, you know,
Yes.
you can watch Gabnet, or you can you can feed a hungry child, or you can change the page. That she would be a great.
That's
Yeah,
cute.
she'd be a great. She has a very
You ought to get one of those
waif-like look.
Patreon.
Huh?
What are these guys that have a Patreon channel?
I
what is
don't.
it?
I have no idea. Don't get into that with me. I have no idea how anybody makes money on this doing this, but they do. Hey, Jeff.
No, just let him stay.
I think he's asleep.
Okay,
Don't
everybody,
wake him
good
up.
night. It's way past
Phil,
time.
thank you so much, as well as Alan. Thank you. I appreciate it. Adrian and Brian, nice to have you here. Anytime you want to come on, Adrian, we love seeing you. You know.
Don't tell her that. She'll be
Oh,
on.
don't tell her that. I don't say that to Tony. Okay, so you know, because I know what that entails. Good night, Jeff. Good night, Tony, and good night to Charlie. Everybody, wave goodbye, and I'll wave goodbye at you. Okay, there they go, folks. There they go. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Jack Bishop is next over most of the same Gabnet. He'll be here with the intersection, and he'll be taking your calls at on Skype at Gabnet Live. I'll be back again tomorrow night, same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, you know what I'd like to say to you. If you see her, yeah, tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody. Have a nice night.